All right, so I look a mess. I'm just leaving the gym, but there's some observations that I made in the gym that I want to share, enough to do it in this state. I'm always relating things back to music. I think everything is connected, but there's a couple of things that I noticed in the gym. Just stay with me. I have an average to athletic build. So people have looked at me in person and thought, you must have been an athlete, and it couldn't be further from the truth. I'm not athletic and whatever, right? But while I'm in the gym doing my workout, this guy comes in and he's a big dude, big belly. And it's easy to make assumptions and judgments about that guy, right? But then I'm not making those judgments, but I know that because I'm not typically not that, I make observations. I'm not a judgmental dude. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so the workout he starts doing, he's a strong man type of a dude, right? He's got this big build, but he's strong as I don't know what, right? This dude would break most guys. Hey, by the way, if you're looking for a systematic way to learn your bass guitar neck in less time than you thought possible, check out Bass Note Master. It is linked below this video. And I'm still looking around, and there's some kind of, first off, I work out at Planet Fitness, and I've never experienced any of the things that people claim they experience at Planet Fitness. It's a great place. Anyway, so there are really buff guys in there, and you would think those guys are the great trainers. And then there's another guy. He's an older guy. He may have worked out at one time or whatever, or just age catches up to everybody, but he's a trainer, right? And so I'm saying all that to say is that in this day and age with social media, YouTube, and all these things, it's easy to look at people online and rate ourselves by that. You know what I'm saying? Or we'll look at the guy or girl who's the flashiest player, nothing wrong with that, and think that they may be a great teacher. They might, but then they also might not. Just the simple fact that they can play really well doesn't mean that they can teach really well. And vice versa. But miss me in the comments with that, those who can't teach. That's some, I like to think that that's a saying that people who can't do either say. People who are busy or sitting on the sidelines. Because I don't know a player out there who doesn't teach on some level and who hasn't done both. So anyway, that's another story for another time. But I've learned a lot from some people who aren't necessarily the most impressive players, but I didn't go to them to be impressed. I didn't go to them to be entertained. I didn't go to them to be wowed by their prowess. I went to them to learn. And so that is the thing. So I guess to bring this all home is like when you go to the gym or when you go to the practice room, you have to ask yourself, what is the goal? Everything has to point towards a goal. When you practice, I went to work out today. I work out every day. My goal for working out is not to be an athlete because I'm not athletic. My goal to work out is I want to, bodies in motion, stay in motion. So I want to be mobile. Some people might say I'm a little bit vain, whatever. I want to look a certain way, so I do it for that. But I'm not going to compete. So I'm not starving myself, or I'm not putting myself on strict diets or whatever. When I went into the gym today, the gym had a goal. Legs was today, right? So if there's a workout that I had done and I'm doing Romanian deadlifts, how many Romanian deadlifts was I able to do the last time? And that's where journaling comes in. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that journaling thing over the next few months. Stay tuned for some content around that. What gets measured gets done. But perspective, goals, and measuring those goals are important. All right? It's time to hit the shower. It ain't rocket science. It's pocket science. Peace.